Remember when the media kept zooming in on Nigerians for Trump?
I'm done.
The flags, the suits, the pastors, the entrepreneurs, the proud speeches about being different from Black Americans, the dream of being the respectable, elite, acceptable Black immigrants.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I wonder what happened. Just the Latinos, Nigerians made a song as well. And there are some key things that they should take from both sides, no less.
And here we go.
So what happened? Because now the same political machine they cheered for, the same movement they thought would separate them from Black struggle, is sharpening the very blade aimed right at their communities.
How does this work here?
So we're going to peel back the illusion, not out of spite, but out of accuracy. For decades, a segment, not all, but loud enough within Nigerian diaspora crafted an identity in the United States based on distance. Distance from foundational Black Americans, distance from the Black struggle, distance from anything that might threaten their elite status, so-called.
I'm not impressed.
The strip was familiar. We value education more. We came here legally, some. We don't complain like Black Americans. We work harder.
Yeah, boy.
We don't do crime except in Nigeria.
Huh? What?
We came here to succeed, not protest. Some even proudly weaponize stereotypes.
Toxic.
Nigerians are the most educated group in America. The most educated group in America. That is correct. Pew Research did a report that stated that Nigerians have high degrees. They have a high degree account. But education does not purchase immunity from racism. Because here's the truth Nigerians don't want to face. America never saw them as exceptional. America saw them as exploitable, as Black, as foreign, as dispensable. Here's the tale of the tape. Pew Research 2018 stated that Nigerians have high educational attainment, but still face racialized discrimination identical to other Black groups right here in America. Also, the Migration Policy Institute stated Nigerians flagged for enhanced visa review at higher rates due to Nigerian passport, spiked fraud concerns, even when fully documented. Again, DHS, African Immigrant Review of 2019 placed Nigeria on the high-risk overstay and fraud list.
What could go wrong?
The Trump administration visa restriction 2020 added that Nigeria to the expanded travel ban list due to security concerns. So while Nigeria was boasting, we're not like foundational Black Americans, we follow the rules. This was what Nigerians were doing right there in Nigeria and praising the same man. We'll get into it.
You love Donald Trump. But if I should be in America, I will vote him.
God is not done with Donald Trump.
A survey found that nearly 60% of Nigerians are pro-Trump.
But as president, he reportedly referred to African nations as shithole countries.
Did you address his reported comments from earlier this year when he reportedly used vulgar language to describe African nations?
So the best thing for me is to keep quiet.
We didn't discuss it. And you do have some countries.
I want you guys to recognize and realize what the Nigerian president stated. The best thing for me to do is to stay quiet. After he called African countries, especially Nigeria, a shithole country. And all the meanwhile, America quietly said, these Africans might be a threat. Review everything. You weren't gaining whiteness, Nigerians. You were gaining temporary approval. Nigerians for Trump.
That are in very bad shape.
As the US election approaches, I wanted to find out why.
Very bold and confident.
A strong willed person, he knows what he wants, he stands by it and he goes for it.
I like the way he talks. I see that he has good plans for Americans.
Do you know he referred to African nations as shithole countries?
If he knew Africa, I'm not sure, in quotes, that statement would have been made.
Yes, I know he said that, but that doesn't really change my perception about him.
You said you admire him?
Yeah, I admire him.
And that's the problem. Worshiping whiteness at every given turn and every given opportunities. Nigerians for Trump? Nigerians for Trump bought into the delusion that conservative law and order politics favored them. The pastors lined up, the engineers lined up, the small business owners lined up, the status chasers lined up. Trump respects success. Trump respects discipline. Trump respects Christian values, as you can tell right here. That's what he respects. Trump respects people like us, but Trump didn't see Nigerians as Christians or entrepreneurs. He saw Nigeria as a shithole country. He saw Nigerians as dangerous. He saw their success as a threat, not an asset.
So how did we end up here?
The policy receipts are brutal because he said, why are we taking people from shithole countries in January of 2018, I believe, referring specifically to Nigeria and other black nations? Then in the ICE enforcement logs, Nigerian overstays target disproportionately under high fraud African nation categories. In the Project 2025 proposal, it said to reevaluate citizenship pathways for immigrant-heavy nations with fraud patterns. Nigeria was listed. Trump policies didn't distinguish between Nigerian doctors, Nigerian engineers, pastors, Nigerian students, Nigerian citizens, Nigerian green card holders. He saw all of it as one category: African, foreign, and removable. Here's the punchline, ladies and gentlemen. Nigerians for Trump. Trump was never for Nigerians. Foundational Black Americans tried to tell you, but all the while, you guys were spewing your tethered rhetoric right here, Foundational Black Americans. And now let's forget what they did and what they do in Nigeria, because again, they supported Trump 1,000%, not just Nigerians in America, but Nigerians in Nigeria. This is absolutely despicable. Here's another one.
I keep chasing that same old devil down the same old dead-end highway. Fighting that storm running through my veins like a shot down tailspin air.
I wonder how that video aged, because ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to speak out today. Yeah, I know a lot of my great Americans did not realize how much support Donald Trump had in Nigeria, even after the very denigrating, disposable comments that Donald Trump made about not only Nigeria, but Africa altogether. Talking about it contains a lot of shithole countries. But like I stated before, Foundational Black Americans tried to tell you, we weren't jealous of your degrees. We weren't intimidated by your LinkedIn profiles. We weren't threatened by your bragging. We were warning you because we lived under the system for 500 years. We told you, this man is not your ally. This system will use you, then discard you. Your accents will not save you. Your Christianity won't save you. Your distance from Foundational Black Americans won't save you. And some Nigerians responded. Foundational Black Americans are jealous. We don't have the same problem. We don't get into trouble. We came here to work hard and not complain. We're not like them. And then reality arrived.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Nigerians deporting in mass ICE sweeps between 2017 and 2020. Nigerian students denied visas at higher rates than students from China, India, and Canada. Nigerian professionals flagged at U.S. airports for secondary inspection. Nigerian churches targeted for immigration audits. Nigerian asylum seekers denied at increasing rates due to credibility concerns.
What is this game?
We weren't your enemies. We were your early warning system. This is the part they won't say out loud. Trump advisors, the architects of Project 2025, created a deportation strategy that did not distinguish between illegal immigrants, overstays, green card holders, naturalized citizens, people with minor decade-old legal issues. Nigerians fall into multiple high scrutiny categories. High fraud concerned countries that came from the DHS list. High visa overstay countries, State Department data. Security risk flags due to Boko Haram. Christian religious visas often reclassified under fraud review. African migration clusters target for enforcement. They built an enforcement pipeline with Africa, especially Nigeria, listed as a priority zone. This isn't paranoia, it's paperwork. You can't out-Christian, out-degree, or out-hustle your way past a system built to erase you.
Hell no!
Far too long, some Nigerians believe we are superior to foundational Black Americans. We do not have their crime issues, except in Nigeria. We are the good Africans. We are the model Black immigrants, but whiteness is never impressed.
Hypocrisy, my friend.
Never fooled, never loyal. The model minority illusion Nigerian style collapsed the moment it was no longer useful. The same system that used Nigerian actions to shame FBAs. Look at these Nigerians. They work hard, don't they? It's the same system now saying these Nigerians, they're doing fraud. These Nigerians, they're abusing the system. These Nigerians are kidnapping their own kin in their own land. These Nigerians are scammers and frauders. These Nigerians, we need to review all their paperwork. Colonial caste arrogance meets American white supremacy, and only one survived. See, here's some of the receipts that you guys really need to coincide and understand with. Nigerian fraud cases exploited by media as Black crime. Nigerian corruption imported and then blamed on foundational Black Americans. Nigerian religious networks investigated for tax and visa abuse. Media headlines simply say Black. FBAs get stuck holding everybody else's garbage. The one thing that you fail to understand is that you can't outrun a system you help strengthen. So I think that these examples that I'm giving you guys, that now things are coming to fruition of the backsliding, the moonwalking, the backtracking, and the backstepping.
Back it up.
Well, we're not going to forget, but we will tell you at one point in time, you were all for Donald Trump, and now reality hits.
Latinos voted for Trump, but I know why Africans voted for Trump. African men cannot stand to see a woman in charge, especially a Black woman.
All the excuses.
African women, y'all have been beat down so much to believe that a man has to be in charge that you can't stand to see another woman in charge. It bothers you because you have not been given that opportunity. That is why they voted for him. They do not care about his values. They do not care. In fact, they don't even know his values. Ask an African, what are one of the things that Trump wants to pass? They won't know. This man literally said that Africa is dirty, disgusting, and a desolate place. And they still voted for him because he said, oh, he speaks his mind. He's this, he's that. Listen, oh, he speaks his mind. Something that women do not have the opportunity to do in Africa. So because he speaks his mind, they get his vote. And they think that they're protected.
Nowhere Nigeria is really bleeding. It's bleeding. Just the moment Trump, named us a country of particular concern, our president.
He stated that President Donald Trump named Nigeria a particular country of concern. No, sir, he called Nigeria a shithole country.
It was all bullshit.
He called Nigeria a country of scammers and frauders. That is what he called Nigeria. Why? And then you're stating that Nigeria is not safe, because he also pointing out all the kidnappings that you guys are doing, whether it be 12 schoolgirls or 250 people, that you're committing crime against one another. If people really want to talk about Black on Black crime, let's talk about African countries that have a lot of Black on Black country. Not all African countries, not all Africans, but again, they come here with the vitriol, with the disrespect, and stating that foundational Black Americans commit higher rates of crime than any other demographic, while being foreigners in the land. See, we're not just going to be dancing on anyone's pain, but we will point out the hypocrisy that comes from these ethnic groups. Let's get into it, because there's more to state here. Because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this female right here, this young lady right here, she's Nigerian.
We know what this is. Put on a thinking cap. We think the man that doesn't want us in his country would care about ours. That's number one. Number two, I don't know if you guys know this story, but centuries ago, white men went to Africa, yeah? And guess what they did when they got there? Guess what they still doing over there? Supremacists are not going to be your resolve. I want to say that one more time. Supremacists coming to an African nation is not there to help you.
Now, when I first saw this sister, automatically I thought that she was FBA, only because of her lighter skin and because, again, foundational Black Americans had an ethnogenesis. We have people darker than me, and of course, some of them even lighter than her who are foundational Black Americans. But I noticed after doing a little bit of research, she is Nigerian. And I don't know if she used cake soap, but I'm looking at this the European style. Not stating that FBA women don't do this as well, but I'm talking about the hair color, the lashes, the skin color, even her eyes. I want you to look at, and then even her mannerisms or womanisms there is, that the way she's even portraying or delegating the message to you guys. I just want you guys to point that out. Because again, if you ever went to Nigerian, if you ever talk with Nigerians, you will understand that in some regards, they revere whiteness.
I'm not sure why the fuck y'all not getting that. If you're a Nigerian that understands how detrimental this will be to your country, please explain that shit to your folks. Because I literally cannot wrap my head around one motherfucker believing that's a good idea. You, the white man coming to your land to help. Y'all, please lock the fuck in. Please lock the fuck in. Damn. Good.
I do apologize for all the profanity, but nonetheless, this is the way that Nigerians are now turning their back on President Donald Trump, number 47. See, foundational Black Americans are not dancing on anybody's pain. We're not celebrating deportation unless you're illegal. We're not cheering ICE vans unless you're illegal. And if you are a detriment to the FBA community, we're not celebrating fear. But what we are saying is, we told you. We know that this system better than anyone because we survived it longer than anyone. Our ancestors built the legislation you now lean on, whether it be the 14th Amendment, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, the Fair Housing Act, due process protections, anti-discrimination laws. Those were Nigerian fights. You guys didn't help in these fights. Those were FBA fights. And we warned you. It wasn't hatred. It was experience. We warned you because we knew what was coming. Period. Nigerians for Trump was never a coalition. It was a costume. It was a pump fake. It was a show. It was a performance, a misunderstanding of power. Because in America, power is not gained through proximity to whiteness. Power is gained through solidarity. Power is gained through clarity, through lineage, through truth. So Nigerian Americans, you now face the same questions others have faced. Will you keep chasing whiteness that will never embrace you? Or will you stand in the truth that the same people you call a kata are the backbone and the moral compass of this nation? And not only thank our lineage, but thank God we have loving and forgiving hearts, but we will never forget our blood, our victories, but every civil right you benefit from. We are not your enemy. We are your blueprint. And the question is, do you want proximity or protection? It's time you recognize real and understand the dynamics of America and the history of foundational Black Americans. See, this is Blacklogic, where we bring the truth with the receipts. We cut through the diaspora illusions and remind America of one thing it fears the most, and awaken people moving on code. Because let me tell you this, Nigerians who voted for Trump, Nigerians who speak down on foundational Black Americans, Nigerians who think you're better than foundational Black Americans, if you believe that your mosquitoes will conquer and destroy America, then think again.
Let me be aware that Nigeria is not Vietnam. Nigeria is not Afghanistan. Nigeria is not Iraq. Nigeria is not Iran. Nigeria is not Venezuela. If you attempt to encourage and make aggression and send your armed forces to Nigeria to wage war, it's an unscrupulousness. But be aware that our mosquitoes, they are waiting for your soldiers to bite them and infect them with malaria fever to die instantly.
I will make that hypocrisy hurt.